Hey, 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 love and light to each and every one of you guys. Welcome to the Dope Black Chick Podcast, your audio guide to releasing your dopeness.
Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of the Dope Black Chick Podcast. And I am so excited about this episode because on this episode, I am talking to some seriously dope Black chicks. We are going to be talking about one of my favorite pastimes, and I know it is one of the things that a lot of dope Black women out there love, but yet we're not so much seen. But Comic Book Girls is the name of this episode, and we are discussing Marvel comics to be exact.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and introduce my guests. I have Myleta. Myleta, what's your last name?
Eldridge.
Myleta Eldridge. And then I have Sharon. Sharon, what's your last name? Haskins. Sharon Haskins. So Myleta, tell everybody where you're from and what you do real quickly.
Hi, I'm Myleta. I am from Columbus, Georgia. I actually right now am the assistant office manager for my father's OBGYN practice. And I actually work for the Girl Scouts part-time as a membership support manager. So I am a woman on the move.
Awesome. Okay. And Sharon, tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I am a freelance makeup artist. I run my own business. It's called Kaleidoscopic Makeup Artistry. So pretty much I do a little bit of everything. I love special effects makeup. So during the October season, I work as a makeup artist at the local haunted house. So that's my passion.
That's so cool. Special effects
That's
makeup.
awesome.
That's like a whole other episode.
Yeah, that's amazing. Super amazing.
Isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. That's the show. Because I think that the things that make us unique, the things that we do that are so different and other people call weird, or whatever that special sauce is that you have is what makes you dope. And I think that the diversity of Black women is just...
It's phenomenal.
Duly portrayed. And so I wanted to create a platform where you could see all types of facets of yourself. And having you two ladies on today is just for someone else out there who's like, you know what, I love it too. And they can connect and they can know that there are other dope Black chicks like them out there. So thank you guys for being a part of the show. Let's go ahead and jump into this because we've been talking. The comics, we know our movie is coming up. We know EndGame is coming up. And I don't know how. I just know I have to be in there. But I'm gonna tell y'all how I felt at EndGame when I saw when I saw the last movie. Okay, Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the movie, I just was very adamant. I kind of felt the same way I felt about Jussie Smollett. I was like, he's innocent. I don't care. So. I don't care what I've seen. I don't care what you say. They're not dead. They dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was me the whole time. I was like, they dead.
It's
this ain't happened. Everybody else was sad. Everybody was like, oh my God. I was like, girl, they dead. They good.
I was like, they gonna fix this. They will fix it. I don't believe it.
Right. I was like,
we gotta hold on to that.
I don't care.
This is a dream sequence.
Exactly. I was like, I don't care what I just saw. They ain't dead. They coming back. I ain't worried about that. So, Okay, so EndGame, that is what I'm walking into the door prepared for the return of my king. And, so like, I think Myleta, you said that you didn't see any of the trailers or you only saw one of them, right?
I watched the very first trailer and I purposely have not watched the second one because my heart and my life just cannot. I don't know how to prepare.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I wish I hadn't seen any more of the trailers because I actually saw a trailer day before yesterday and I had only saw the first one. And then I saw one day before yesterday that kind of ruined a lot of stuff.
You saw that new one, didn't you?
Girl, why they?
I heard because I got like an alert on my phone and it was like new EndGame trailer released and I was like, nope.
Nope.
Why did they put that out? I was so mad because I'm gonna tell you why I was mad. Two reasons I was mad. I was mad because I was right, and two, I was mad because I was right, and two, I'm mad because why would you tell people that? Like, why would you do that? I was coming in there so I could tell everybody else that I was right. Now you have taken my thunder from me. So what do we look forward to?
They ruin all our joy.
Yeah, they're really like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, if you give us this, then what exactly are we going to be watching? So I'm really
for 3 hours.
That's why I stopped watching trailers. I stopped watching trailers a long time ago with the very first Deadpool. And it probably was the best decision that I ever made, because it's one of those things where it's like you go into a movie and it's completely new to you. It's completely fresh. And it's a wonderful watching experience because you haven't seen all the clips.
Right.
So it's just like, you're like, ooh, this is so much fun. And it's so fascinating because you've only literally seen one thing to either sell or not sell you on it.
Right. And who's editing these trailers? Because I'm sorry, but I just feel like that trailer was so unnecessary.
They put too much information in.
Like, who did it? A child? Who put that together?
Who did it? Who did that?
It was horrible. Like, who would put that level of you don't give away that much of the storyline on a trailer,
right?
Weeks. No, a week.
See, they're messing with us. They're messing with us because if you give away that information, there's something else that's coming that we can't see coming. I just feel like that if you're going to give away that kind of information, now we're like, well, what is really about to happen?
Right.
Like, what are we really getting ourselves into?
Like, I'm really nervous now.
With like all the empty chairs and then like the few core members. I'm like, y'all are enjoying this. Y'all really enjoy torturing. They're sadists. They really are sadists. I'm convinced.
They're evil till you do right by me.
Yep.
They're trying to take our lives.
Okay, so let's talk about your love for comics. One of my questions was, who is your favorite comic book character and why? So Mylita, go ahead.
So it's interesting when you asked that question. I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's a lot of female characters in the comic books from Marvel, but we don't really know the backstory to them. Like, unless you do your research, you won't have a clue who, what women exist. And, male characters are cool, but, I'm a woman and I identify with women characters.
Yep.
Right.
So Jean Grey is amazing. And the kind of power that she has, like, if you really go back and do a lot of research on her, on the background,
right.
And how she was a kid. I mean, she's powerful from the time she was a child when she acquired her powers. And the Dark Phoenix, which I know is a movie coming up. I'm super excited about that.
Oh,
why
not? I'm not.
I'll tell you when you finish.
Okay. So, I mean, it's interesting to see. I want to see what they do with it. I want to see how they tell the story. But as far as like comic book wise, she's pretty freaking amazing. And I compared her to my DC favorite, which is Wonder Woman, and it's not a cliche. I love Wonder Woman. And so she very much reminds me of that kind of power that women have. So that's my favorite in the Marvel world.
Okay. I think a lot of women just connect with Wonder Woman. I know I loved Wonder Woman because she was not your typical white girl. She was like a thick chick. And she had some
she was strong. She was
strong. So I was like, I like her.
She was literally doing it all by herself. She was out there whipping ass. She was defending herself. She was defending people. It wasn't, the whole, oh my God, help me.
Yes, exactly.
And so it was one of those.
And then she was like, and I love the world and I'm going to win them over with my love. I'm like, you are such a bad chick. And then you're just like, I love everyone. Oh my God.
Right? It goes back to the whole, do no harm but take no shit.
Okay.
Right. Like she is good. But it's like, so in regards to the Jean Grey thing, I totally agree. She, in my response to Kim, she was one of my top three. I had a tie. It was Storm, because Storm was literally the first Black woman that I identified with. I was like, yo, she's Black, she's dope. She can control the weather. And I was like,
What?
who are you? So it was that. And then there was Jean. And I love Jean for her duality. And I've always been one of those people where I just love the idea of being able to be in touch with both of your sides. It's probably why I'm a Star Wars fan too, because it's the balance of both the light and the dark. And I love that the Dark Phoenix is, yes, it's very powerful and it can control you. It can be very evil. But when you are able to get to a point where you learn to embrace both sides of that, you can do really great, wonderful, and powerful things. So I loved that part of that aspect. And then my third was Misty Knight, because Misty went through some really dark stuff and she literally lost a part of herself.
Yes.
She overcame that, and she got, she found a way to turn her disability into a superpower, and she didn't let it stop her. And I have lupus.
Like that.
So I definitely relate to that, and I understand what it's like to live within limitations. And that's kind of how I became a makeup artist, because I can't really work a conventional job. I'm not reliable enough to work an 8-hour job, because my flares can come at any point in time. So I'll have to call in, things like that. So it's one of those things where you made your own way and you found a way to still be badass despite what might be limiting you. So those were my three.
I love it.
Thank you.
Look at you. You got your superpower. Superpower there, girl.
But I love Dark Phoenix. Like, I really, really do. But I'm so tired of Fox and how they do our women from that series. And Fox
we'll see how
does the Dark Phoenix saga properly. And even with the trailers that I've watched, it's X3 rebooted. Like, I'm just like, dude, what are y'all doing? It's X3 rebooted. So I'm just like, y'all promise us over and over and over again, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna make you fans proud. And I'm just like, y'all are really, really breaking my heart. So I'm just completely over it at this point. I'm super tired. So I don't really plan on seeing it. I'll see it when it comes to HBO. That's really how I'm just so like, I really am, y'all.
Well, let me tell you guys, I had 3 for my favorite comic book characters, and number 1 was definitely Storm, just for Black Girl Magic. Just see something that looks like you. Representation matters.
Right.
That was, I remember going to some kind of like thrift store or a flea market. It was a flea market, and I was maybe 8 or 9. And my brother and I were at the comic book section. And of course, he immediately was like, Superman is over here. And I'm just rubbing my hands across, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking for. I love animation. So I'm just looking. And then I see Storm. And I stopped and I picked it up and I was like, this is what I want.
Yep.
What I'm getting.
Yep.
Didn't know the story. I didn't know what she's going to do. But I just saw a Black woman flying through the sky. And I was like...
Like, she makes you stop. She makes you stop, like, for real.
Yeah, so she's my number 1. And then my number 2 and 3 has actually changed over time, but I'll give you the original and then I'll tell you how it changed. So my number 2 was actually Wolverine, because I grew up during the phase and series and the cartoon series. So I was in love with Wolverine. And number 3 was Iron Man, because I thought his ingenuity was the most powerful thing. And so as I grew older, Wolverine is now number 3 and Iron Man is number 2. In part due to, again, me growing as a woman and understanding the power of the mind. And I just love knowledge. So the more I can learn, I can utilize what I've learned, that knowledge. And that's just what keeps me connected to Iron Man. It's like, he's so freaking smart.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what situation he's in, he will think his way through it.
Yep.
And I love that. And so he has become my number 2. And then, of course, Robert Downey Jr. is just yum.
That man is,
And he just really makes me love Iron Man even more.
Yes, because he really
such a good
start. Like, I am convinced, Like, he is real life Tony Stark. They really did wonderfully with that role,
didn't they?
It's just,
and he has grown over time.
Right. And when you look at the parallels of the character Tony Stark, and you look at Robert Downey Jr.'s life, you're like,
in real life, yes,
this is so much like you. So it really works. It's very much like the casting of Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool.
Yes. So
love
Deadpool. Hold on. I'm going to pause real quick.
That was so
I'm going to have to edit. Okay. All right. So this is going to be the last question before we kind of start wrapping up. But this one is going to be our dialogue one. Okay. So Captain Marvel. I do not like the movie. Did not like the movie. I thought it was bleh. Like, it did no justice. I was pissed because, for one, when I even found out they were doing Captain Marvel and that they were putting this white girl in it, I was like, okay, first of all, Captain Marvel has morphed several times, and the fact that y'all choose her as what you want to use is very upsetting to me. I also understand that because you gave us the bone of, the King of Wakanda, that like that's enough in the mix. Versus being true to your comic, and if you wanted to really, break and defy stereotypes, why don't you give us Captain Marvel as she originally is, and that is a black woman. You did not give us her, Monica. You did not give us her,
Monica.
And instead you make Monica the sidekick with the baby hanging out. Like, no, no, boo. That's not true. You know that Captain Marvel is Monica. And it would have been great for us to see our sister finally get her due, because she has not gotten her due from Marvel.
She hasn't.
They have switched her name out 1,000 times. They even gave her name Auntie. Like, ma'am, how you name somebody Auntie? Then they took her name. What was her other name?
Photon? Is it
Photon or something like that?
Something Photon.
Something like that.
Yeah. Then they gave it to somebody else. They gave it to someone else.
Yeah. Her name is changed.
Like, you keep raping this woman and not giving her just due, and you had the opportunity with Captain Marvel, and you could have really.
Marvel walks very carefully on eggshells. Very things, and they do it so perfectly that you barely notice until you start to really look closely. And what they do is they're like, okay, well, we'll give you Black Panther, and we'll give you an all black cast, and we'll give you Luke Cage, and we'll give you a very black cast, and we'll give you these black characters. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to shake up the tree too much. So we'll give you Captain Marvel, and we know the origin, but what we'll do is we'll give you baby Monica to kind of give you the hint that Monica could be Captain Marvel eventually, but we won't let you know when.
Right.
So hold on to hope. And
we gotta wait for a time lapse. We gotta pray for a time lapse.
You gotta wait till like phase 5, because Marvel got like phases right now, and they have like their plans mapped out for well into. Because I legitimately remember reading an article that said something like, Marvel has no plans for X-Men well into phase 5. So if we hoping to see X-Men anytime soon, unless they plan on changing something, it's doubtful. So it's just like, yeah, we saw Monica, we saw her very little, we saw the hints, but the possibility of seeing her as Marvel anytime soon, doubtful. It's the same way with Captain America, knowing that eventually Falcon becomes Captain America. He passes the test. When is it gonna happen though? So it's questions like that. It's stuff that we know as Black people when it comes to Black comic book history, that these things happen, these things are very real, but it's like, will we ever get to see it come into fruition on camera in 2019, in 2020, in 2025?
Why do we always have to wait? Why do we always have to wait?
Well, I think they're
paid in rations.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing about like Black Panther, I don't know that they thought it would be like it was. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were. I don't have any idea.
They were like, I'm gonna throw this bone and we're gonna see what happens.
Right. And I'm like, you saw the power of representation in that movie. And not only that, I have to give it to Marvel. They did an excellent job of telling the story. Like, I was so impressed with the fact that the movie was a good movie. And I almost forgot I was in a Marvel movie. I was like, Lord, I'm like in Wakanda.
All praise to Ryan. All praise to Ryan Coogler on that. Okay, let's give it to him.
Yes,
because
Ryan did
his story is so amazing, and how, you know, he started off wanting to give up on writing. And I'm like, if he had done that, my God, like, we wouldn't have Black Panther. And his strong Black woman,
exactly,
you know, was the reason why he continued. But for me, watching Black Panther was like watching I'm like, okay, Marvel, you see the power of bringing to life what people want to see, not just us as Black people, right? And without making it seem like, making us strong and not like ghetto and stupid and all these things that you think that we are, that make people laugh all the time.
Without being abusive Black men, without being drug dealers, without being gang bangers. We were kings, we were queens, we were warriors, we were scientists.
Like, even with Killmonger, like, he was an educated.
He was educated.
You know, I loved it.
And so I was just thinking to myself, so why can't you give us a Black woman in that role? We deserve that. We deserve to see a Black woman who is strong, who is smart. At this time, you can continue to play that game you want to play, but if you are really paying attention, the kind of response you would get to a movie with a Black woman in that kind of powerful position, Marvel ain't seen nothing.
Right. Look, I said a long time ago on Facebook, and I tagged Marvel, and I was like, I will say it again. And Marvel, I want my money if you do this. You need a Black movie with Shuri, Lunella Lafayette, and Rihanna that's the new Ironheart. You need either a comic book, or you need a series, or you need a movie with those three Black girls as the leads. You have literally like the three most brilliant Black girl minds in the entire Marvel, universe.
Yes,
right.
Happen. Do you understand what that could be? Netflix just launched a series of 4 Black superheroes from Africa. Netflix is already getting you on this.
Exactly.
You dropping the ball. You got phases on top of phases, and you're still missing. Like, you missing money. It's just like you said. The power of representation is real, and we've gotten to the point. Black Panther changed the taste in our palates for real.
Yes.
We're tired of bland service. We cannot do this whole, we go to see this. Like, it's to the point now where I can't watch things that are overly white. And I don't know about y'all, but it really.
Girl, that's me all day. That's me all day, every day. I need 98% Blackness in my life every day.
Like, I really can't do things that are that are just saturated in pure whiteness. Like, I'm just like, where are the Black faces? So y'all can flip if y'all want to, but we will get it from somewhere else. Netflix brought us Beyonce. Stop playing.
Right.
Right. I mean,
it's too many opportunities now to try to keep us quiet. It's too many opportunities because we have the power of this now.
Yep.
We have the power of technology now. You can't keep us quiet. You can't keep those stories untold.
Yes.
Stories will be told by us. We're going to
one way or another.
Stories, and either you can cash in or you can miss the boat, but it's going to happen. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this thing up. We're out of time, but I appreciate you ladies so much for being a part of this show and really having this discussion about, representation in our comics, things that Black girls really do love.
Right.
I want to tell you, we are real, we exist. Exactly. So, tell everybody where they can follow you guys. Mylita, you want to start?
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook. It is Mylita Eldridge. And on Instagram, it is Lita RE13. And I'll be glad to have you follow me and check me out.
Awesome. Okay, come on, Chipper. Tell them. Tell me.
I am Beauty and the Geek. It's on Facebook and on Instagram. It's all the same. It's always Beauty and the Geek. It's fairly easy to find. Just to warn you, I am not for the faint of heart, so.
We love it.
But
We
I
love
definitely
it.
want some new followers.
Awesome sauce. So thank you guys so much for joining, and to the listeners, guys, thanks again for checking out the Dope Black Chick podcast. Make sure that you tell your friends that there is a podcast out there with a dope black chick talking about dope black things, and you definitely want to be a part. We're streaming on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and of course you can always visit ihearthatgirl.com. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at The Dope Black Chick. And until next time, peace and blessings.